You guys ready to see our debt weapons in action? Been lots of requests for this. First, let's start off thumbs up if you are a prepper and you are feeling more comfortable being prepared for something, versus thumbs down from those of you who think that this is all going to blow over and prepping will be a waste of time. Just go ahead and let us know. Also in the comments, I'm curious what steps you're currently taking to prepare for a downturn and what are some of your personal favorite strategies. Be sure you stay to the end of today's video because I'm going to be announcing how you can win this brand new pair of AirPods for our 200,000th subscriber giveaway. I cannot believe we've made it. Thank you guys so much. But what cooler way, guys, to celebrate quarantine than with some new AirPods? You know, they're $250. If you don't want them, feel free to sell them. Take the cash, do something special. I absolutely love mine. By the way, they have literally changed my life, which is kind of sad, but 100% true. All right, so this video is part 2, and it's continued from my part 1 video about prepping for the market to collapse. Now, I've got to go through a disclaimer on this. I am only making this video to show you guys what I have personally been doing and what I'm considering doing moving forward. This is purely for informational purposes only, of course. My team and I have mastered the use of tools that we call debt weapons, and we have a very long history of using them to build substantial wealth. Every decision is made only after consulting with my team of experts. We carefully analyze all the upsides as well as all the downsides to each option that we have. Now, over the past 19 years, I've used these debt weapon tools to successfully achieve many types of results. I've built multiple streams of income over 7 figures per year. I've used them to attack and pay off large amounts of debt, $600,000 in non-mortgage related balances. We've remained debt-free for years. We've even paid off real estate mortgages to zero in just a few short years. And yes, all the while building and maintaining perfect credit. We teach it all the time on this channel, and we show you exactly how we do all of this here. So make sure you're a subscriber. I assure you, none of these things happened because I have some sort of special advantages over anybody else or because I was given special treatment. In fact, quite the opposite. When I was starting out, I was terrible with money and credit. It's because I have studied these strategies for a very long time from some of the most famous educators. Yes, people like Dave Ramsey, who I still study from all the time, Robert Kiyosaki, and pretty much everybody in between. And I've developed a very specific and effective approach to beating the banks and winning in any economy. Now, aside from one big mistake, I've been very successful even during the last recession. Every result that I've achieved has been from scratch, and there have been many mistakes that were made along the way, but we are convinced that the approach that I teach here on the channel is by far the best for people who understand the power of leverage, but hate the idea of having debt. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Now, I want to be absolutely clear. Very few people should do what I'm going to be showing you here in today's video, which is simply a demonstration of what I am personally doing right now. This is in no way for people who have a history of being fiscally irresponsible or for anybody who has fallen into financial hardship because of coronavirus or any other reason for that matter, as it can lead to further trouble and it can take years of recovery to fix it. Now, this is likely going to be nails on a chalkboard. Or a whiteboard for that matter, to Dave Ramsey's army, because this is where we are dusting off some of my favorite and most powerful debt weapons, and I'm preparing them for war. Now, please get help before you take any action. We are experts at using these tools safely, and we do offer help to you in order to guide you through your own plan with a free coaching session that you can get at freecoachingcalendar.com. If you're like me, though, and you say intend to take action before, during, and after this whole mess, then we do offer ongoing one-on-one coaching, which pays for itself many times over during the 30 months that we work together. Why? Well, because it ensures that you're doing it the right way, and you can avoid very expensive mistakes if you were to screw it up on your own, okay? Now, you can sign up for that ongoing one-on-one coaching using the same website, freecoachingcalendar.com. Lastly, before I dive in here to the math, we have had a huge rush from our frontliners to join the 5-week free coaching that we are offering to anybody that's helping all of us stay safe and healthy during this virus. If you are an essential employee right now, please visit frontlinefasttrack.com and you can claim one of the last 30 spaces that are remaining. We expect that they will be gone today, and it's the only time that we expect we're going to be able to offer it, at least for right now. Once again, thank you guys all so much for putting your lives on the line for all of us. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the numbers, which has always been my favorite part. Very first step, step one, is you have to track your numbers. You have to manage a budget. I know that you hate hearing that, but it is always true. It's always been true. And I can't express how important it is that you do that now more than ever before. You can get your own Cashflow Cruncher spreadsheet, the best budgeting tool I've ever seen, from cashflowcruncher.com. Cashflowcruncher.com, link in the description. Next, what we're going to do is start analyzing the 3 C's of banking and borrowing. That's credit, capital, and cash flow. Talk about it on this channel all the time. By building my credit scores through the practice of everything that I teach in our credit scoring playlist here on the channel, I have slowly built access to a ton of available types of capital. The second C, okay? So again, credit, capital, and cash flow. Now, I've been teaching our audience to target these, getting access to between $25,000 and $250,000 now for the past 12 years. Between 2 to 8 new accounts should be the goal. Let me stress, these are accounts that we pay very little for, if anything, to get, and we do not use them unless they are adding to our wealth and cash flow. And then we pay them off very quickly. Just like Dave Ramsey, we do not believe in long-term debt. But like Robert, we do believe that leveraging into income-producing assets and using tools to fast-track is smart. Now, please understand, Dave Ramsey fans, Dave is teaching people who have a history or a habit of using debts to pay for crap, including consumer items and college degrees that they never use. So he's teaching people to stop doing that. Dave is using a general rule of thumb to avoid debts universally. And that's smart for the average person, because average people are broke, and average people do not use debt to buy cash flow. They use it to buy crap that they don't need, like consumer items and degrees that they don't use, okay? But for the fiscally responsible, when it comes to wealth creation and efficiency, it's poor advice. That's like saying, don't drive cars to speed up your progress, or don't use power tools to finish your construction project, because people have been hurt doing that. Okay? Now, if Dave was being consistent, can't we all agree, folks, that he would have us all riding bicycles and building like the Amish? You know, it would probably actually, on second thought, be a much better world. So come to think of it, maybe I do agree with all of that. Let's give up our cars and let's give up power tools, and by golly, let's give up our credit. Anyway, I digress, folks. Let me show you what I have done here so far, okay? So the first thing I did when we started seeing the crisis unfold in January was I deposited $225,000 from my bank account. This was from a home equity line of credit at 4.45% variable interest right now. That means that I will start paying interest on this account immediately, which is $10,012.50, or $10,012, what was it? And yeah, 50 cents. 50 cents, that's per year, okay? Now, if we divide that out per month, it's $834 per month, okay? Now, let me show you a screenshot of my bank account where you can see the deposit was made, okay? So you can see a $225,000 deposit from my home equity line directly into my bank, same as cash. I didn't get any cash advance fees or anything from that. Now, the next thing I did was I deposited $50,000 as well into my bank, same as cash, from an unsecured BLOC. That's a business line of credit, does not show up on my credit report. It's a 6.5% interest account, and the payment on that is $32.50 a year, or $270.83 per month, okay? Now, if I add these two interest costs up, $834 and $270, it's costing me $1,105 per month right now in interest. That's $13,262 per year. $13,262 per year. Now keep in mind, I can use the money I deposited to make the payments. Let me show you on my phone, okay? Let me grab my phone here. All right, so you can see that $50,322.85 is the current balance on my business line of credit with interest and the $150 annual fee being considered. Now, there's no balance due at this time, okay, no payment due, but I can simply pay any amount of principal or future interest anytime I want to, using the same account that I deposited the funds into initially. So it's paying itself until I use it for an investment, whatever I have remaining. So what am I doing here exactly, guys? I'm gambling. Yes, I admit that. I'm gambling on two things. I'm gambling on the fallout of the market and the potential freeze of these accounts. Now, I know it's a safe bet that banks will start freezing access to home equity lines of credit and business lines of credit as liquidity is being challenged, as well as other debt weapons, if the problems that we are seeing now continue, just like they did in the last downturn. When an account like this is frozen, it just means that I cannot use it anymore and continue to take out available money. It's not a balloon where the bank makes me pay whatever I owe all at once. The same repayment terms still apply. But I'm also going to be betting here, guys, that there will be a lot of deals that are ripe for the picking coming soon. So let's do an example, okay? Let's say that I can buy an asset. Now, my preference for income producing assets are houses and businesses, okay? And let's say that I can buy one of those, a house or a business that was $300,000 value 6 weeks ago. But I can pick it up a year from now for just $200,000. That's a 33% drop in value. And I expect that we will see even better than that in some cases if we are proactive and we are continuing to look. But keeping it conservatively realistic here, I am confident that I can save $100,000. And if I do that, I'll still have $75,000 left from what I originally had available, right? Because I have $275 available. I spend $200, I save $100, but I'm $75,000 left. Furthermore, now that's minus the interest costs. If this is a year from now, this is $13,200 or some in interest. So I'm up, 61 plus in cash in the bank. Now, this is one more thing, is that I have way more buying power and I can probably negotiate better deals because I'm using cash here versus having to worry about getting financing. Okay, so I'm an all cash buyer for these types of assets. Now, let's say, for instance, the market corrects itself in 6 months, okay? That's certainly a possibility. And let's say things stabilize, fingers crossed. I can simply apply the money that I've taken and put it in the bank back to the original balances, and I'll only be out the $6,600 in 6 months worth of interest costs. That's a small price to pay for this potential here. Now, obviously, I could be wrong, and these accounts may end up not freezing, which means that I've basically pulled the money out, put it in the bank, and that was a total waste of the interest that I'm now paying, even though I'm not using them yet. But I'm not willing to lose access to the buying power that I have by having this cash on hand, which is why I'm doing it this way. And I'm essentially making that, say, $6,000 or $13,000 gamble over a whole year. Now, here's another example why this is important. Let's pretend things keep falling and I can buy an asset for, say, 50 cents on the dollar, which, by the way, in my last Real Estate is Doomed video, I had real estate that fell over 57% during the first 6 months of ownership during the last downturn. And many people are predicting that this situation could lead to worse. So that's completely realistic that can happen. It already happened to me once. So that same $300,000 asset, I might be able to pick it up for $150,000 or $150,000 in savings. Maybe it takes 2 years, not one, and maybe it cost me $26,000 in interest, but I would save $150,000 on the price tag, and I'd still have almost $100,000 left over after the 2 years of interest costs, which would obviously give me even more buying power for other assets. Now, this is just a very, very basic example of our thought process when using debt weapons and how these tools serve us in the time of financial war. The time we spend to prepare and to plan, it never is complete. In fact, we're strategizing a refinance right now where we'd be paying off all of the $225,000 home equity line of credit through a cash out refinance, but we would have an additional $125,000 available for use. The bottom line is this: having access to tools that we know how to use safely is a huge advantage. Even if I wasn't an investor and I simply wanted access to emergency funds in case things don't improve before they get worse, because at the end of the day, nobody knows where this is heading, right? And like I said before, I know we all operate differently. So I want you to drop a thumbs up on this video if you prefer to feel prepared, or go ahead and drop a thumbs down if you're an optimist and you think that this is all going to blow over and life is just going to resume back to normal. Let me know either way also in the comments section below why or why not. All right, now for the contest. If you are a subscriber to the channel and you've already dropped a like on this video, go ahead and email AirPods, okay, plural, AirPods at VIPfinancialeducation.com. I'll throw a link in the description as well. That's AirPods at VIPfinancialeducation.com, along with your phone number. I need your contact name and phone number in the body of the email. Put AirPods in the subject line, and I will call you next Monday around 12 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time in order that we receive the emails. And I'll be asking a series of questions about credit scoring. Now, if you can answer at least 3 out of the 5 correctly, you will win these brand new AirPods. So send an email now and start studying, because I will be calling starting at 12 Mountain Daylight Time next Monday until I reach the first person who can answer 3 of 5 questions about FICO credit scoring correctly. Please keep in mind that you must be willing to have your voice used on the channel in a video, just your voice. I'm not going to make you go on video for this one. I will on the next one. I'm thinking about doing this twice. But I'm not going to do that right now because I know that, you know, most people aren't showering every day anymore, and you're probably still wearing sweats like you were in my last video. So looking forward to giving these guys away. They are amazing. We love you guys. 200,000 subscribers. I can't thank you enough. Debt Weapons. I love them too. I'm feeling full of love today, folks. I hope you are as well. Please make sure you're staying safe. Thank you all to the first responders. I don't know what to say. You guys are truly lifesavers, literally. And for the rest of you guys, make sure you're staying home and staying healthy and keep cash flowing. See you on the next video.